ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. Stanza 210. सूत्रार्थज्ञमनुष्याणां मतिं विज्ञाय केचन मुमुक्षवो गुरुं प्राप्य चोदयन्त्यतिसम्भ्रमात्. यद्ब्रह्म विद्यया सर्वभावाप्तिं मन्वते नरः तद्ब्रह्म किं विदित्वा भूत् सर्वमित्येतदीर्यताम्. Till now, the aphorism sutra Atma Itteva Upasita from Brihadaranyaka. This particular portion of Shruti 147 from Brihadaranyaka was explained. Atma Itteva Upasita. One should get the direct knowledge of Atma, which is everything as such. What is Atma, what is Iti, what is Eva, what is Upasita, everything word by word was explained in detail. Having exposed to this teaching, there are some who have got the knowledge. Having got this knowledge, and some others who have discovered that some have got the knowledge are also keen to gain knowledge. But they have a problem. What is the problem? What was told that means by Brahma Vidya one becomes Sarva. One becomes Sarva means one gains the moksha. Here they have a problem. There is some contradiction in the very statement that having known Brahma, one becomes everything, one becomes Brahma, one gains knowledge, one gains moksha. Contradiction itself is there. The statement, it appears to them as incongruous. That's why what they do, mumukshavaha, they are jidnyasus. They are very serious to gain this knowledge. At the same time, they can't proceed further because there is some problem. So to sort it out, gurum prapya, having approached a guru, what they do? Ati sambramat, with great anxiety, chodayanti, ask the question. Ati sambramat, with great anxiety. Why that great anxiety? We want to gain the knowledge of Brahma, but there is some contradiction here. So what is that contradiction? What is the question they are asking? Let us see now. We have seen this aspect. The question is based on Brihadaranyaka 149, where it is said, Tadahuhu yad Brahma Vidyaya sarvam bhavishyantaha manushyaha manyanti kimutad Brahma avet yasmat sarvam abhavat. So this is the basis of the question asked by this mumukshu. So what is it? Tadahuhu. These Brahma Jidnyasus, they say, what they say? Yad Brahma Vidyaya sarvam bhavishyantaha. By gaining Brahma Vidya, by gaining Brahma Jnana, you become everything. Sarvam bhavishyataha, you become everything. This phrase means what? You gain moksha. There is nothing other than you, Brahma only. Only Brahma and Brahma alone is the direct knowledge you get. So this is what they say. So, Manushyaha bhavishyantaha manusha. Because why manusha is said? Only human being is the eligible person to gain the Atma Jnana. Neither animals can gain the Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, nor the denizens of heaven also can gain Brahma Jnana. Human embodiment is designed to gain the knowledge. The primary purpose of human embodiment is to gain this knowledge. Other bhogas, sense pleasures, etc., they can be had in a better way in other embodiments, either animal or heavenly, better than the human embodiment. No doubt, in human embodiment, also bhogas, sense pleasures are possible, but primarily it is not designed for that. So therefore, Manusha alone, except some exceptional few in devas, etc., human being alone is the eligible person to gain this knowledge. From that standpoint, Manushaha, whatever these people consider that having got the Brahma Vidya, Brahma Jnana, becomes everything, one moksha, the question arises, Kimu tad Brahma ave? What did that Brahma know? Means of what? That means that Brahma got the knowledge of what? And what type of knowledge? Having got which knowledge, what happens? Yasmat sarvam abhavat. It became everything. So this is their question. So here, why this question is asked? Because there is a contradiction. What is that? Having known Brahma, one becomes everything. If this is the case, the question arises, is that Brahma parichinna, limited, or aparichinna, limitless? Why? Why should he ask this question? Because what he has said, Brahma knew something we don't know what it is. Either itself or something other than itself. And it became everything. If Brahma is parichinna, means limited, and got the knowledge or either of itself or something other than that, how many things are there? 3. Knower Brahma, known something itself or something other, and the knowledge, triputis are there. If these trio are there, these limitations, parichinnatas are there, that Brahma cannot be Brahma, because Brahma is limitless. One problem. Now you say, no, Brahma, there is no such triputi of knower, known, knowledge, because Brahma is limitless. Then how do you make a statement? Brahma, having got the knowledge, became everything. This statement cannot be made. In either way, there is a problem in the statement. So their question, Kimu tad Brahma ave? What did that Brahma know? Yasmat, because of which sarvam abhavat. This question in itself has got 2 sub-questions. What are the sub-questions? It is like this. First one is, Kim tad Brahma? What is that Brahma? Of which you are talking that Brahma got the knowledge of something and became everything. What is that Brahma? Question number 1. Number 2, that Brahma, whatever that Brahma may be, what did it know? Did it know itself or some Swarupa or something other than itself? Having known which, it became everything. So these 2 questions are there. The Jidnyasus have figured it out. We should certainly gain the knowledge of this Brahma, but there seems to be a problem. They have got a great concern and anxiety. So they approach a Mahaguru and ask the question. So that question is posed now. Yad Brahma Vidyaya Sar. We have read it. Okay. Anvaya also has seen, I believe. Anvaya, no. Okay, take the Anvaya. Introduction we had seen last time. Of course, long back. I mean, 2 months back. More, huh? Exact 2 months back. Okay, very good. So, Yad Brahma Vidyaya Sarva Bhavaptim Naraha Manvati. Yad Brahma Vidyaya Sarva Bhavaptim Naraha Manyate. Tad Brahma Kim. Tad Brahma Kim Viditva. Kim Viditva Sarvam Abhut. Kim Viditva Sarvam Abhut. Iti Etad Iryatam. Iti Etad Iryatam. This is the question posed by mumukshus or jidnyasus to the Guru. See, whatever these people consider, those who have got the knowledge of Brahma, what they consider? Yad Brahma Vidyaya, by gaining Brahma Jnana, Brahma Vidya, Sarva Bhavaptim Naraha Manvati. This Naraha means here Jnanis or these Mukshus, they consider what is that? Sarva Bhavaptim. That means gaining the status of becoming everything means moksha, manvati, whatever they consider. In that context, the question is, Tad Brahma, that Brahma, Kim Viditva, having known what? What is that having known what? Either Swarupa, its own nature, or something other than its nature. Having known what? Sarvam Abhut, it became everything, it got moksha. Etad iryata. May you please explain me how this is so? Because there is a contradiction. Brahma being limitless, there can't be knower, known, etc. And if it is there, it can't be Brahma at all. So this is how, having exposed to the earlier unfoldment of Atma iti eva upasita, a doubt has cropped up. Now the Guru is answering. The answer is based on now 1-4-10. Next mantra, 1-4-10, the famous mantra wherein the Aham Brahmasmi Mahavakya appears. So it is like this. The answer is based on this. Brahmava idamagra asit. Tadatmanam eva avet. Aham Brahmasmiti. Tasmat tat sarvam abhavat. So this is the Shruti which gives the answer to the earlier question. Brahma va idamagra asit. This is a very confusing phrase. Literally, very simple it is. Idamagra, idamagre, before this, before what? You must have heard some other statement. Atma va idamagra asit aitareya. Sadeva some idamagra asit. There idam jagat, agre means srishte prak, atma eva asit, sadeva asit. But this idamagra is different. Idamagra means idamaha agre. Prior to this. The question comes prior to what? Here it is like this. Idamagre means before gaining jnana, before gaining Brahma jnana. So before gaining Atma jnana, Brahma jnana, what was there? Brahmava asit. Brahmavai asit. Only Brahma was there. Now this Brahma word is something which is tricky. It is not the Brahma straight away what? Chaitanya Rupa Satchidananda Sarupa Brahma. No. Who is this Brahma? Before gaining this knowledge, this Ajnani Jiva, who in reality was nothing but Brahma, was there. This Brahma refers to whom? Jiva only. Why that Jiva, Samsari Jiva is referred to as Brahma? Because that Samsari Jiva in reality is who? Nothing but Brahma. At places that Brahma is taken as Hiranyagarbha. That also means the same thing because Hiranyagarbha also is equally a Jiva. Maybe exalt Jiva. The moment he got the embodiment, he got the knowledge. That may be a peculiarity of the Upadhi, a speciality of the Upadhi because of the karma and upasana that he has taken to the Purva Kalpa. But primarily he is what? A Jiva only. There also it fits in. So therefore, before, but when you say Jiva, you can generalize it and it is applicable to everyone. Before gaining Brahma Vidya, before gaining this knowledge, what was there was? This Brahma, who is that Brahma? Jiva, whose Swarupa is Brahma only was there. And what did it do? Tad Atmanam eva ave. That Brahma, which Brahma now? The Jiva whose Swarupa is Brahma. Atmanam eva ave. It got the knowledge of itself. What type of Atma it is? Not the present one, that Samsari Atma. So it is that Atma is Nitya Dhrugrupam. always the Drik Chaitanya Swarupa, and always totally free from all the Adhyasta Adhyaropita Jagat. So therefore, Nitya Drigrupam Adhyaropita Nitya Drishtya Anitya Drishyadi Varjitam. Adhyaropita Nitya Drishyadi Varjitam. Always Drik Swarupa Chaitanya Swarupa Varjitam, free from all Adhyaropita, falsely attributed. What is falsely attributed? Anitya Drishyadi Varjitam. Anitya, Samsari, Parichinna, and all these wrong notions which are falsely attributed, which have nothing to do whatsoever with this Atma Brahma. That Atma, its Swarupa, it knew means it got the knowledge. Who got the knowledge? Brahma. Who is that Brahma? Jiva, who in reality is nothing but Brahma only. So who was there before gaining the knowledge, got this knowledge. Tasma, by this Vijnana, by this Sakshatkara, by this direct knowledge. So Tasma, what happened? Tat Sarvam Abhavat. Tat, who is that Tat? Brahma. What Brahma? Jiva, whose Swarupa is Brahma. Sarvam Abhavat. So it became everything, means it got the moksha, it discovered everything is nothing but Brahma. So that means, what does this statement mean? Brahma, Brahma eva abhavat. Brahma became Brahma. But first Brahma is who? Jiva, who in reality is Brahma. Second Brahma is who? The same Jiva who has cast off the ignorance and directly cognized the Swarupa. So that is what it means. So therefore, this shows that contradiction is not there. How it is not there is going to be elaborated step by step. Now, first the answer is being introduced. Take the stanza. Evam mumukshubhischodde krute karunaya guruhu. Anayasena tachodyam parihartum vacho bravit. Evam mumukshubhihi chodde krute guruhu karunaya tachodyam anayasena parihartum vachaha abravi. Vachaha evam mumukshubhihi chodde. In this manner, evam means what is that? As seen in the earlier stanza. Mumukshubhihi chodde, when questioned by mumukshus. So, what? Chodde krite. Chodde krite. Chodya means a question. When the question was put forth, so chodde krite, guruhu, the guru to whom this question was put forth, karunaya, out of compassion, because he could understand the problem of these mumukshus and wants to dispel it. So karunaya, out of compassion, tachodyam, that doubt, that question, anayasena parihartum. Parihartum, to dispel how? Anayasena. Anayasena here means not effortlessly, easily. To dispel that doubt easily, vachaha abravit, made this statement, means replied. He replied like this. So this reply is based on what we have seen, 1.4.10, Brahmava idamagra asit tadatmanam eva avid aham brahmasmiti tasma tat sarvam abhavat. So what did he reply? Let us see. Brahmaiva bodhat pragjivo bhutvatmanam avid punaha. Brahmaiva bodhat pragjivo bhutvatmanam avid punaha. Aham brahmeti tadbodhat sarvatmakam abhut tada. Aham brahmeti tadbodhat sarvatmakam. अन्वय जीवः बोधात् प्राक् ब्रह्म एव भूत्वा जीवः बोधात् प्राक् ब्रह्म एव भूत्वा पुनः अहं ब्रह्म इति आत्मानम् अवेत् पुनः अहं ब्रह्म इति आत्मानम् अवेत् तदा तद्बोधा सर्वात्मकम् अभूत् तदा तद्बोधा सर्वात्मकम् अभूत्. So that Brahma va idamagra asi. Before getting the knowledge, what was there? Brahma. What is that Brahma? This is what it is. Jiva. This samsari jiva who appears as samsari due to ajnana. Jiva. Bodhat prak. Before the bodha, before the Brahma bodha, Brahma vidya, Atma jnana, Atma bodha, before getting the knowledge of oneself, Brahma eva bhutva. Itself being Brahma means its swarupa is nothing but Brahma only, bhutva. But due to ignorance appeared as ajnani, samsari, jiva. So what did he do? Punaha. Punaha means then. Then. So what did he do? Then aham brahma iti atmanam ave. So it gained the knowledge of itself. Atmanam ave. So got the knowledge of itself. How? Aham brahma iti. Got the knowledge as how? It demonstrated I am Brahma. So this is how this who jiva, who even before gaining knowledge was none other than Brahma itself, but due to ignorance appeared as samsari jiva. Now, then means afterwards, got the knowledge that I am Brahma. Tada, then what happens thereby? Bodha, on account of this knowledge that I am Brahma, so sarvatmakam abhu. It became sarvatmaka means the atma of everything, in the sense it discovered my Sarupa, the Chaitanya Sarupa, Atma, the pure awareness principle, the pure consciousness principle, which is truly I, is the I in all. There is nothing other than this Atma Sarupa, Chaitanya Sarupa, Brahma Sarupa, that is a Sarvatmaka, of the nature of everything that it discovered. This is the answer. Now this answer is now further explained, that is stanza 213 is further explained up to stanzas 227. Step by step, in the sense, phrases by phrases from that 1-4-10 mantra is now being explained. First, tad atmanam eva ave. So, tad, with that tad, jiva, who was nothing but Brahma, gained the knowledge of itself. This phrase is explained from 214 up to 218. If you have noted the 1-4-10 mantra, Brahmava idamagra asi tadatmanam eva avet. Tadatmanam eva avet. First this phrase is explained. Thereafterwards, aham brahmasmi will be explained. Thereafter, the tasma tat sarva bhavat, like three phrases will be explained. Why this explanation is necessary? This is for, the reason is like this. See, tad atmanam eva avet was told. It got the knowledge of itself. This is not possible. Why? A given person cannot be the knower of oneself, because oneself cannot be the object of knowledge of the knower, that is oneself. Grammar doesn't permit it. In the grammar, subject and the object can never be one and the same. Karta and karma can never be one and the same. So therefore, this is not possible. So this is not possible. That is what he says. So that is what the doubt is like this. Ekasya eva veditritvasya vedyatvasya cha asambhava. A given individual, a given entity itself cannot be vedita, knower, and also vedya, the thing to be known. Ekasya eva, don't bother too much about Sanskrit. So if you know the gist, it's okay. A given entity cannot have the veditritva, means the status of being vedita, the knower. Itself cannot have the status of vedya, the thing to be known. Then this is so. How do you say Atmanam eva ved? Got the knowledge of itself. This is the doubt for which the answer is being given. No, it is possible. Avet sopadhiratmayam atmanam nirupadhikam. Jnatra jnana jneya bhedan na doshotra managapi. Anvaya. Ayam sopadhi atma nirupadhikam atmanam avet. Ayam sopadhi atma nirupadhikam atmanam avet. Atra jnatra jnana jneya bheda. Atra jnatra jnana jneya bheda managapi doshaha na. Managapi doshaha na. Ayam sopadhi atma. So the statement is Atmanam ave. This jiva, who was none other than Brahma, got the knowledge of itself. There is a contradiction, because to know what bheda must be there? Knower, known, and the knowledge. Jnata, jneya, jnana, this must be there. In oneself this cannot be. How is it possible? This is possible. How is it possible? Because of this. Ayam sopadhi atma. This atma, which atma? Sopadhi, along with upadhi, along with embodiment, means who? Jiva samsari. As available presently suffering the samsara, who would like to get rid of these limitations of samsara. So that entity. So ayam sopadhi atma. What did it know? Nirupadhikam atmanam ave. Got the knowledge of its true nature, totally free from upadhi. Who is knower? Sopadhi atma, jnata. What is jneya? Nirupadhika atma. Possible. Therefore knowledge is possible. Your problem was how this knower, no knowledge distinction can be there in given oneself. He says, because of wrong notion, so it is possible. Just as say, you lost the key bunch and you are searching everywhere. Okay. Finally you found it in your own pocket. Is it not? Where was it? It was never lost. But you consider yourself the one who is the loser, and you say, such a the air ticket is there and you have to report to the airport now and you are not getting it and the key is there, etc. You can imagine what is going to happen. So, therefore, I got it. So, it was not lost also. like that. Some mistake was there, something was not known. Similarly, here, me is Brahma only, not samsari. But due to ignorance, I am mistaken myself to be Brahma. Not Brahma, samsari. So that samsari I is the one who has the role to play of a knower. And the true nature, which is asamsari Brahma, has the apparently outwardly gets the status of something being known, but in reality both are one and the same. So therefore, here means what? Jnata, the knower is sopadhika, jneya, the known is nirupadhika. So atra jnatru jnana jneya bheda. On account of this bheda, the distinction of jnata, the knower. Who is that jnata? Sopadhika, Atma, the one who is identified with the embodiment. And what is to be jneya, known? Nirupadhika Atma, free from embodiment. So, and knowledge of that, bhedat, on account of distinction, managabi doshahana, manak, even a little defect is not there, means the statement that tad atmanam eva ave is a flawless statement. Means in a given that we hear, jnata, jnana, jneya, bheda is possible. Now here that phrase jnata, jnatra, jnana, jneya, bheda, on account of distinction of knower jnata, known jneya, and knowledge, this is possible. Just I am bringing to your notice, in translation, the translator has given the meaning of bheda as a destruction. From vid, bheda, one meaning also is destruction, but that meaning doesn't apply here. I'm bringing to your notice because many of you have got the habit of totally relying on translation. Swami speaks something, उसको habit ही हो गया है. So दूसरा काम ही नहीं है. And you listen something, and finally after you go through the translation. Translation at places is useful. It has helped me also at places, but not reliable. Many places it is not reliable. The translator is not an ordinary person. He is a PhD fellow. He is a great scholar also as such. But Vedanta being what it is not accessible to mere scholars as such. It needs something else also as such. Not just to bring it. So if it is useful, okay, but be careful that it can mislead. There is no destruction there. Distinction is available. This dhyata, jnana, jneya, bheda, which will be clear from the subsequent explanation of the answer also. So therefore, in fact, almost all translations are like that. I have yet to come to any translations except one or two in Hindi. I would really give the credit to them. So done because they had the proper base of Vedanta. Other thing. First thing, English is not the language for Vedanta. That's another problem. They have to struggle, and yet here the such problem comes. Okay. So that's where the distinction of knower, known knowledge is available. As the sopadhika atma, the one who is identified with the embodiment, is the jnata, knower. Nirupadhika, the true nature is the known knowledge is possible for whom? Sopadhika. So therefore no problem. So what is that jnatra, jnana, jneya, bheda? Distinction of this trio. So that is further explained. Aviviktastu dehadhyairatma bhavati vedita. Viviktatma veditavyo dhivrittirvedanam bhavet. See, this is the thoroughness of Vidyaranya Muni. Word by word he explains. Who is Jnata? What is Jneya? And what is Jnana? In detail. Dehadhyaihi aviviktaha tu atma. Dehadhyaihi aviviktaha tu atma. Vedita bhavati. Vedita bhavati. Again, dehadhyaihi viviktatma. Dehadhyaihi viviktatma. Veditavyaha again bhavati. Once again, dehadhyaihi aviviktaha tu atma vedita bhavati. Dehadhyaihi viviktatma veditavyaha bhavati. Vedanam dhivrittihi bhave. Vedanam dhivrittihi bhave. So here the author has used Vedita, Veditavya and Vedanam, which correspond to Jnata, Vedita, Jneya, Veditavya, Vedanam, Jnanam. So these three words are explained. Let us see. Who is this Vedita, Jnata, the knower, as specified in 214? The one who is like this. Dehadhyaihi aviviktaha tu. Viviktaha means distinguished. Na viviktaha, aviviktaha means not distinguished. The one, that is Atma, the Chaitanya Rupa Atma, aviviktaha, not distinguished from what? Dehadhyaihi. Deha adi. Deha adi for mana, buddhi, indriyas, pranas, etc. Entire embodiment. Stula, sukshma, karana, deha. So aviviktaha, not distinguished. Vedita, the knower, it becomes. What do you mean by not distinguished? Can you give an other word for that? Atma, Chaitanya Rupa Atma, not distinguished, not separated from Dehadi embodiment. What does it mean? One who is identified with the Dehadi embodiment. The Chaitanya Rupa Atma who is identified with the Dehadi embodiment means Deha etc. embodiment is mistaken as my characteristic feature. Truly it can't be so. The Chaitanya Rupa Atma is totally distinct from embodiment. One who has mistaken that as my feature, that is what not distinguished means identified with. So, that is that one, Dehadhyaihi aviviktaha tu Atma Vedita bhavati becomes the knower. Because identification with the buddhi is there, the status of knower is easily possible. And what is the Veditavya, the Jneyam, the thing to be known? It says, Dehadhyaihi viviktaha Atma. Viviktaha means distinguished from Dehadi embodiment. What is the distinguished? Knowing oneself to be Chaitanya, totally free from the Dehadi and its features. So that is what Veditavyaha. So the thing to be known. Now how this knowledge is possible? Who has to gain the knowledge now? One who is identified with the embodiment. And knowledge of what is to be gained? The Chaitanya Atma free from entire embodiment. How can you gain? Generally, how do you gain the knowledge of anything? Presently you are listening to me. Whether you understand or not, never mind. How do you listen? Ears, mind, buddhi. Is it not? Huh? Okay, because what I speak, the sound is the Vishaya of your ear. You can see this microphone, the Vishaya object of your eyes. But Atma, Brahma is not a Vishaya of any Indriyas. Not only Indriyas, it is not a Vishaya object of mind and intellect also. A thing which is not the Vishaya of mind, intellect or Indriyas, how are you going to know? Ashabdam, asparsham, arupam, avyayam, agandavat, tatha, arasavat. How is it possible? Other things we can know. So how this knowledge is possible? Yes. This is what is meant by knowledge. What is that knowledge? Vedanam dhi vrittihi bhave. What is meant by Vedanam is Jnanam, is dhi vritti. Dhi vritti means dhi stands for here, not simply buddhi, antakarana vritti. So this knowledge is antakarana vritti. How do you gain the knowledge of anything? Is there any other way of gaining the knowledge of anything except through the channels of antakarana vrittis? The thought patterns, the antakarana vrittis, corresponding to the object known, called as what? Vishayakara antakarana vrittis, give us the knowledge of all the things. So, without that, no knowledge is possible. So, here also you say, dhi vrittihi vedanam bhavi. That antakarana vritti becomes the vedana. Here, a question can be asked. Sir, to know an inert object, we admit what is required is antakarana vritti. But to know Chaitanya, which is nothing but knowledge principle, why antakarana vritti is required? Before proceeding further, we have to little refresh ourselves of what we had learned many a times and easily forgotten also as such. How exactly the knowledge of any Vishaya takes place? Some aspect just now we have seen, but exactly, precisely. When an inert object is to be known, for example, sound emanating from what I speak, form of the microphone, some smell, some taste, some touch. So, how exactly the knowledge takes place? First, the jnanendriyas press themselves into function. Okay, jnanendriyas means jnanendriyas, sense organs, come in contact with the Vishaya. What happens thereafter? Thereby, in the antakarana, there is a Vishayakara antakarana vritti. What is that called as Vishayakara antakarana vritti? What do you mean the Vishayakara antakarana vritti? The antakarana assuming the form of Vishaya, the object perceived. Fine? What is the job of this Vishayakara antakarana vritti? Its job is to remove the ignorance in your mind, antakarana, of that specific object. Technically it is called vritti vyapti. Vyapti, permeation of a vritti, a thought corresponding to the exact nature of the object in question to be known. So that is it. Ignorance is removed, but that object is still to be known. Why? It is an inert object. Like an object kept in pitch darkness, without light it cannot be seen. So also inert object cannot be cognized on its own. Who will make us know that? Just as the light has to dispel the darkness, and knowledge principle has to dispel this jadatva, inertness, to make you know. Who can do that? Atma can do. Why not? The only knowledge principle available is what? Chaitanya Rupa Atma. Why it cannot? वो तो अलग निरंजन है, असंग. It has no connection whatsoever with anything whatsoever. But something is available. What is it available? Chidabhasa is available. So, when that Vishayakara Antakarana Vritti takes place, moment any Antakarana Vritti takes place, what is that? Reflection of Chaitanya is bound to be there. In the open sun, if you take the mirror, reflection is bound to be cast in the mirror. So likewise, the moment that Vishayakara Antakarana Vritti takes place, what happens? The Sarvavyapi Chaitanya Rupa Atma gets reflected in that specific Vishayakara Antakarana Vritti. This is what is called technically as Phala Vyapti. Do you know what is Phala? That Vritti Pratibimbita Chaitanya is Phala. Don't say that some fruit is there or something like that. So, Vritti Bimbita Chidabhasa or Vritti Pratibimbita Chaitanya means the Chidabhasa available in that Vishayakara Antakarana Vritti is called Phala. Is a technical. Phala Vyapti, permission of Phala. So what does it do? Like a beam of light illuminating an object, it makes you know the inert object whose ignorance was removed by who? Vritti Vyapti. So now you know what is Vritti Vyapti, Phala Vyapti. These two stages are indispensable in gaining the knowledge of any inert object. But the knowledge is in question now is not of inert object. It is of the very knowledge principle. Therefore the doubt comes, fine, for Jada Vishayas we do need Antakarana Vritti, Dhi Vritti. Why do you need here to gain the knowledge of Atma, which itself is nothing but knowledge principle? You don't need a light to see the sun. You do need to see any non-luminous object, but not the sun. So like that, why do you need here? Right. But do you know Chaitanya Rupa Atma? Do you know Brahma? Otherwise you won't come in the morning here. Sunday morning, why should you come here? Of all the things, only holiday available. So you don't know. That ignorance has to be removed by what? Vritti Vyapti. In Vishayas, what was the Vritti? A Vritti corresponding to, in conformity with the object or the akara, the form of the object. Here also, in Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana also, a Vritti is required. What type of Vritti? A Vritti corresponding to, in conformity with, the true nature of Atma. This is possible because of the very texture of Antakarana. Presently, why not available? Presently, the Antakarana is filled with all cobwebs of Upadhis, Raga, Dvesha, of course. Upadhi, Gunadharma, and Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara, attributed as the very features of who? Atma. You have to what now? Cleanse it. For which what you have to do now? एरे माझ्या मागल्या आ गया, वापस आ गया किधर? साधन चतुष्टय संपत्ति, which has got one thing which is most disgusting. What is it? Vairagya, amanitwadi values, antakarana shuddhi, chitta naishchalya. All these are required for what? To tune your mind, to tune your antakarana to the specification of what? Atma. Don't think there can be shortcut in Vedanta. There are many shortcuts available. It is not for Vedanta. It is a shortcut to the purse of those who eat Vedanta. Anyway, whatever it may be. So that is what it is. So either you take it as it is. You say, look here, Veda not some inspiration. That's fine. Some peace of mind, etc. Okay, that's very good, etc. No problem. But better you know what exactly it is. So therefore, that antakarana should conform to that. All this karma yoga, everything comes there. All this yoga aspect, means sadhana aspect are meant for preparing the mind. And then what happens? That needs to be exposed to Vedanta to get rid of wrong notions of taking the Panchakoshas embodiment as the I. As a result, what happens? So that mind assumes the nature of Atma. That is what is called as a Dhivritti. Otherwise, the name for that is Atmakara Vritti, Akhandakara Vritti, Brahmakara Vritti. If this provision were not there in Antakarana, take for granted Atma Jnana is next to impossible. But Bhagavan has designed the Antakarana in such a way that he has kept a provision that the knowledge can be gained, provided we prepare it in the right manner. So the question here is that Dhivritti Vedanam Bhavet, you are telling. So Dhivritti is Vedanam Bhavet. So how is it possible? Why Vritti is required? Vritti is required. What Vritti is required? Vritti Vyapti is required to dispel the ignorance, because I don't know what Atma Brahma is. Once that Vritti Vyapti, what Vritti Vyapti? Antakarana Vritti conforming to Atma Sarupa in its true nature, free from Adhyastha, takes place. Afterwards, you don't need the Phala Vyapti. Why? Thing to be known is what? Knowledge principle, it's not an object as such. No doubt, in that Vritti Vyapti, Dhi Vritti, Atmakar Vritti, Pratibimbita Chaitanya is bound to be there or not. It is there, but it is not necessary. Just as you flash the torch toward the sun, that light is there in the torch, but it is not necessary to see the sun. Because you require the Dhi Vritti to dispel the ignorance, and being a Vritti there is bound to be Chidabhasa, but the Chidabhasa is not necessary to know, because itself is Swaprakasha, Anubhava Swarupa. Atma doesn't need any pramana or any sadhana to know itself, but to get rid of ignorance, these are necessary. So what happens? Phala Vyapti is not necessary. So this much you should know to understand what is going to be told now. So why Dhivritti required to gain knowledge? The reason is this. That is what the question can be. If Atma is Swaprakasha, means the very knowledge principle, self-luminous. So what is the utility of a Dhivritti? For that answer is Avidyaropa Ninutyai Tadatmanam Avediti. Correct it, Tadatmanam, not Tamatmanam. आत्माभिमुखधीवृत्तिरात्मवेदनमुच्यते अविद्यारोपनिहृत्यै तदात्मानम अवेद. This much you put in inverted comma. Tadatmanam aved. This is the phrase from 1.4.10 Brihadaranyaka mantra. That it is not tamatmanam, it is tadatmanam. Quoted there. Tadatmanam aved in inverted comma. Iti add Shrutihi aha. Iti Shrutihi aha. आत्माभि मुख धीवृत्ति एड एव आत्माभि मुख धीवृत्ति एड एव आत्मवेदनम एड इति उच्यते. आत्मवेदनम एड इति उच्यते. So we'll see that. Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisha Shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithvi sasya shalini desho yam chomahita yamana santu nirvaya om sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukhabhat bhavet asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnam Gacchate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri